Hi, good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all here. And I'm very excited today since it's an expiry day. Markets are up. I think the markets have opened gap up and it's crazy. It's bottomed out last week. The trading action was great. And today we have Jay. People also know him through by the name Nifty Wizard, where he's going to discuss how actually we can take up. Expiry date trades on the Nifty and Bank Nifty, specific strategy we'll be discussing. So, Jay, welcome. Good morning. How are
Hi, good
you?
morning. Good morning.
And so, how's the market looking to you? Um,
Uh,
what do you see, Nifty? People
yeah,
can see your screens? Yeah.
yeah, fine. The screen is visible.
Right. Screen is
Yeah,
visible. We can see your volume profile chart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Uh, so basically, what market doing is uh, just give me a second. I will just take my pen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, meanwhile, I would just like to tell all my viewers that Jay has also done a specific exclusive webinar for us on market profiling. So, in case if you guys want to learn how do you use market profile charts and trade on Nifty, Bank Nifty, and other stocks, you can check out that particular webinar itself. Just go to eLearn Markets and type Jay Chandran, and you will find that webinar there, which is an exclusive webinar. It's a brilliant value addition. Right, Jay.
yeah, fine. So what market done was market after the Fed event. It had a gap up open. So we had a gap up open. Yeah. So we had a gap up open here.
Right.
Uh, we were holding the morning lows so far, and we have a VPOC here at 17,170. So until we don't break the 17,170 for the day, bulls are going to uh, manage it. But also, you need to check one thing. We have a heavy supply zone coming in here. So previously, this was the zone where market started cracking very heavily. If you see this day, 17,325 this day. So this
Right.
is a zone. So this is the zone where there was a heavy supply came in, and the very next day market had a gap down open. Again, this is the zone where we had a heavy supply. The 24th February we got a very big gap down open again. So
Okay.
just show it. Uh, yeah. So we see here it had a pretty big gap down open here. If you see on the candlestick chart, so this was the day I'm talking about. This was the zone I'm talking about. So 17,100 to 17,300. This zone is been
Yeah.
the zone where markets here we got a gap down open. Again
Right.
at this zone we got a gap down open. So one need to be very careful trying a long at a higher zone actually. See, if you ask me, will I go long here? Definitely I won't go long here. If I get a small pullback towards a VAP or near day's low, once I get a rejection here, then I will attempt to take a long, a stop loss below this, looking for a new day's high. But definitely one should not go anywhere long in the zone of 17 to 30 to 17,350 zone at higher levels. Though the context is bullish, though the context is bullish, but the zone is not a better zone to get along at the higher side. So either I will wait for a pullback to get into a long, or in case if it doesn't give me a pullback, I will give a skip for the day. But I won't short the market. That is also I need to point, because we closed a near day high, we got a gap up. Gap up is being holding so far till 11 a.m. So that means bulls are holding so far stronger, so I don't want to go against the bulls. Specifically, if there is some stock-based moves, I will look into. But for index, I will either try a long here at the lows, or I will give a skip. So that is my view on Nifty here. And Bank Nifty, if you go again the same case, so we are near a heavy supply zone. So this zone is being now observing. In Bank Nifty, this is getting very trickier, because this zone had been, this zone is going to get knocked off. That is for sure. So if you see this level, so which is 36,700. So in case if we are holding this low till afternoon, if
Hmm.
any shallow pullback happens, if it rejects, then we are going towards 36,700 or even 36,800 in a squeeze manner. So that's what this is pointing out. Again, I don't want to enter a long at the higher side, okay, higher side of the range. Either let me get a pullback towards a VAP or near this zone. After a rejection, I want to get into a long, looking for 36,700 or 36,800 for that case. So that is my view on Nifty and Bank Nifty.
Jay, could you just zoom in your chart on the right side towards the current pricing so that it will give a better view
Yeah,
to
yeah,
us?
I will do that. I will do that.
Hmm. So basically, we wait for a pullback or till
Yeah.
the D is low, both in Nifty and Bank Nifty, because right now both of them are near the congestion zone.
Yeah, supply zone. This supply zone is getting absorbed right now. This
In
supply
Bank
zone
Nifty.
is getting absorbed, because see, these are the zones actually. These are the zones where, see here, if you see, we had a good sell off. We went up
Right,
again. We got a gap down. We got a good sell off. So we are testing this zone after long time. Okay. So,
right.
but the context is bullish.
Hmm.
So when the context is bullish and when you are testing a resistance zone or supply zone, what it happens is it might take some time to absorb all the sellings, then one spurt likely to happen. So here, after it absorb all the selling, it might spurt towards 36,700 until day's low is holding strongly. That's what my view is. On the other hand, also, though the context is bullish, one should not attempt to buy on breakouts, because this is all supply zone. Anytime the intraday sell-off can happen. So that's why I say when it goes here, wait for a pullback. Once the pullback is here, once you see a rejection, keep a smaller stop loss, buy it. You can look for a new high as the target. So that is the same plan I'm looking for here. So either I will take a long here at this rejection around days low, here at this low here again, here if it comes here at this zone, I might look for a long. In case if it doesn't give a dip, if it keeps scaling up, I will give a skip, because once it starts going up, I don't have a better risk management in place. Here if
Absolutely.
I might have a stop loss here, but once market gives me an entry here, I don't know whether to keep a stop loss here, whether to keep a stop loss here. If I keep a stop loss here, all of a sudden it might hit because of the supply zone. It might hit, then it might go for a target. So I will wait for a better pullback to get into a long trade. If it doesn't happen, I will give a skip. So no trade is also a trade for me.
Right, absolutely. So, Jay, could you just show your volume profile chart once
Yeah.
again, and we can match it that how both of them are coinciding with each other? Can you
Yeah.
just zoom it a little bit? Huh.
I'll do that. Yeah. Can you see
Yeah.
this now? So
Yes. Yes,
What
yes.
happening here is, if you see this, what happening here is, we got a gap up. Yesterday is a balanced day, so it's a
Right,
kind of breakout for me.
right.
So it is holding this morning low and open level so far. Though this can come. Why? Because this, I already said we are trading in a heavy supply zone. So
Right.
what people do is people who all missed the short previously, they can take an attempt of shorting it here where they can get some 200 points or 300 points, or even they can take towards this day's low. Okay, so I don't want to fight them. That is the reason, rather going along here, I will wait for a decent pullback to get into a long. After a rejection, I can keep a stop loss below that rejection point, where I can look for this developing POC as my target, or even days high as my target.
Hmm. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And moreover, in market profile, we consider these are key levels. 36, these VPOCs are key levels actually. So here we have this VPOC, here on the downside, on the upside, we have 37, 170. So it is stuck between the VPOCs. Right now, as I said, see, the guys, the traders who all entered long seeing this as a breakout or this thing must be getting the pain now. They will get
Right.
more pain once price starts coming here. Okay, they will try to liquidate. The trader who waits, okay, the trader who waits for this zone to get filled or tested. Once I see a rejection here, if I enter, I will have a least stop loss for this as my target. So my entry
Absolutely.
point will be here, my targets will be here, my stop loss will be here. So this is the risk, this is the reward.
So Jay, when do we get this rejection? How do we get this confirmation that yes, when the markets are pulling back and we know that yes, there is a rejection and the markets are, good to turn back.
Yeah. So basically, two ways I find it out. One is the TPOs. Okay, this letters are called TPOs. Once
Okay.
it is coming here, let's say you watch it. If this is a rejection, what happens is the letters will get printed here. All of a sudden, it goes here and it closes here. Okay, so you see a tail like this. See here, if you visualize this I call it as a rejection. This I call it as a rejection.
Okay.
So it opens here, it comes, all of a sudden it goes and closes here, something like that. So this is the way in market profile you need to see how the rejection is. The rejections will have some tail like this. We call these things as tail.
Okay.
In upper side, if there is a strong rejection, we will have a tail here. So
So we
show
will
some.
wait for a tail basically.
Yeah,
Once we
yeah.
have a
We need to wait for a tail. Yeah, see this. Yeah, see this. This we call it as a tail.
right.
This we call it as a tail. So once I get the tail, that means someone is rejecting the market. Okay, so I look for a pullback here, and market likely to keep scaling higher. I mean
Hmm.
scaling lower. In case of this day, it scales lower. In case here, it likely to scale higher. So that is
Right.
a easy way to find rejections via market profile. In candlesticks, obviously, the hammer candle is one
Right.
way of noting the rejection, and inverted hammer is the other way of noting the rejection.
Right. So we look out for basically reversal candle patterns,
Yeah,
which will
exactly.
give us the confirmation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. So, yes, Jay, thank you. This was basically a view on Nifty and Bank Nifty, what could be done.
Yeah.
Now, considering that today is expiry, so any
Mhm.
specific strategy a trader should be looking out for to trade in Nifty, Bank Nifty's options or indices directly?
Uh,
Which
so basically, if you consider today's open interest part,
hmm,
uh, so we have a heavy build-up happening here at 36,500 mark. This is where 36 lakhs of calls had been built up. The next build up had happened at 37,000, so which is closer towards 33 lakhs. On the put side, still they didn't build up here. They've been setting only a 36,000 put option, okay, which is closer to 40 lakhs. So if I take all this into a consideration, these zones are supply zones and these zones are demand zones. Okay, so what I do is when price starts coming and hitting here, say like somewhere close to 36,300 or a 36,200 zone, I really look to buy a call option, say like 36,200 call option or 36,300 call option. This after 130 I'm talking about, because as an option buyer on expiry, I believe I need to trade after 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. to get my edge, to pay that right premium actually. So I will be looking to buy call option if I see price or bank nifty towards 36,300 or 200 levels actually. So that is the strategy for today I'm looking for. So when I see the spot levels right now, the spot level is 36,500 mark. When I see the spot level 36,250 or 300 mark, I love to buy 36,300 with stop loss below day's low. Looking for somewhere close to a 1x or 2x trade. This is the trade plan I'm having. Today, I don't want to get into a short trade, though there is an opportunity for short trade, but I don't want to go against the context to make that money. Because only of the zone, I don't want to get into the trade. Yes, Nifty is at resistance zone, but that should not be the reason to for you to take a short trade. The short trades can pay off, but if a fall happens, I really love to buy rather than shorting this market.
So basically, the risk reward is much more in the favor of bulls, and so a pullback is required. I think we all are waiting for that
Yeah,
small
yeah.
pullback
And
where we
let
can
me
go long
zoom,
in calls.
zoom. Yeah, let me zoom this chart out. So if you see, this is what I'm talking about. These are the zones where the supply is being here. So whenever see, and this supply zone is being tested for the first time actually. So when the supply zone or a demand zone gets tested for the first time, definitely a reaction will be there, because those who all missed to shorting here, definitely they will try to attempt a short here.
Yes.
That is how the price auction works. So what happens is, risk reward wise, if you see, someone will see in this angle, risk reward wise, we are at the supply zone, we are in the range. This is the range. If you take this risk reward wise, short is very good for a positional bias. But for an intraday, what I say is, we closed a day's high, we are holding the gap up so far. So I would really love to buy a dip here, towards here or towards here, rather than shorting it here, going against the context.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So this specifically based on the open interest on Bank Nifty, the analysis which we did, 36,300 approximately, we would be looking out to buy a call uh, with a 2x target for the particular
Yeah,
day, for intraday.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And that too, especially, I want these conditions to be met. After 130, I want price to be around the zone 36,200 to 300 zone. Between this
Right.
zone, I want the price to be there. Right now, it is at 36,470. At 130, if price is here, I will really look to buy 36,300 call. And once I enter, I will keep a stop loss below whatever the low is being formed at that point of time, and looking for 1x to 2x from my entry price.
So, Jay, just a quick clarification. Now, if suppose basically since you are mentioning that you would like to take up the trade post 130, so does this actually fall into the criteria that timing, or we can enter before also if we get that opportunity? Why?
You can enter before also, but you should reduce your position size. That's what, as an option buyer, I had found personally, my
Right.
personal observation, anything I enter, especially on index trades on Thursdays, anything I enter before 1:30 makes two things. One, it goes very slow or it takes my stop. These two things happen. Even if it works on my side, this goes in a very slowish manner actually.
Acha. So basically, post 130, we expect a momentum which could come in
Ah,
the
exactly.
options. So
Even
following that
even if
130
it takes
factor.
my, yeah, exactly. Even if it takes my stop loss, it will take my stop loss in a quick manner where I can look for the next trade opportunity. But before
Yes.
entering 130, even it won't take my stop loss in a faster way or go to my target in a faster way. Where I will tell you one thing. I mean, like we are discretion traders. So
Yes.
basically, when something is not moving in your favor and takes so long time, your mind will be drained. You will be in a confusion whether to book it out, whether to hold it out, whether to add more or something like that. In option trading,
Yes.
I always believe as a buyer, you need some sort of quickness. Whether let it take you stop loss in a quick way or let it take boost to your targets in a quick way. That is the way you need to look for.
So any position which you take up around 130 on the expiry date, you expect it to square it off by 330, or earlier, this could happen earlier
I know
also.
I would square it off earlier. Once my target met, I will definitely square it off.
Fair
And
enough.
moreover, during that 130 period, mostly your targets or your stop loss will hit within 2 o'clock.
Either ways. Either
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, either ways. It won't give
Either
you
ways.
much time actually. It goes to your target or it goes to your stop loss instantly. It won't give.
Instant.
So, as a trader, I want a kind of market which gives me or which takes me out of the trade as early as possible. Whether it let it take my stop loss, I will look for the next trade. Whether it gives my target, I can look for the next trade. In a slowish market, we never know actually.
Yes, I think that's a good point. So this was Bank Nifty, Jay, in detail. Now the same thing if we analyze in Nifty the open interest. So how do we go about it in Nifty?
Yeah, if you see Nifty, so basically this is what I was looking for. Why I was bullish was the writers here from the morning they started climbing up here. I mean, like they started rising very fastly here.
So 17,200. There have been
200
right,
writers, they are making the base here.
right,
And one second. Yeah. Yeah, 17,200, they are making a base here. So we are near here, we are near at the zone, and our context has been bullish. So in case markets around 130, let's say we are here around 17,200 or say like 17,150 zone, I will really look to buy 17,150 call option or 17,200 call option with a stop loss, again with a stop loss below day's low. And here, as I said, whenever I want this zones to be tested, I want a rejection to happen, a price action, a kind of hammer. Once it tests 17,200, a hammer formed on 10 minutes or 15 minutes time frame, because we are going against the tide. Market opened
right.
here, market comes here, we are going against the trade and we are want to take a mean reversion trade. So at least a 10-minute time frame chart. On a 10-minute time frame, if I see a hammer candle, I will take a call option. I will keep a stop loss below this low, and I will wait for 17,250 or even 17,300 to hit. So
Right.
that would
Fair
be my,
enough.
in both the side. I would be looking to buy call option in case if market comes to lower side and have a rejection at the lower side, then I will be looking for these two trades. If it doesn't happens, then there is no trade for me.
Right. Fair enough. I think that's decent. So, Jay, just one more query here, which is coming in, that this was specific to today. Now, something like this could be done on every expiry.
Yeah, very easily.
So
Very
how
easy.
do
If an option buyer really focused to make money, say like on an average of 4 weeks, if he concentrate to trade only after, if he comes to his desk after 1 p.m., if he makes all his assessment, if he starts trading after 1:30, his chances of making money as an option buyer, especially on expiry day, have a higher probability than a trader who comes and trades from the 9:15 or from the morning session. Is what I believe.
right? So can we make an assessment here that for an expiry trader, he can do all his level assessment on Nifty and Bank Nifty, and post 1:30, if he gets that level around the mean, they can execute the trade.
Very much, very much.
Right. So, Jay, I have heard, like, I've seen most of the option traders selling options on the expiry day to make that
Okay.
quick buck. So, any specific input on that front for you?
Uh, uh, at least uh, market profile. I don't know regarding option selling, but what
Hmm.
I know is at least I know what market can't do today. So when you
Right.
know that, as an option seller, you can seriously make money. That's what I have a firm belief. Option seller need to know what market is not going to do at least today.
Absolutely. Right.
So I know two things. One is there is a least chance, there is a low probability. Again, I'm talking all in a probability sense.
Probability,
Don't,
yes, absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because people take it in a certainty percent. So
Absolutely.
market have a high probability of expiring above 1770 and expiring below 17 350. Okay, so if you ask me, the range 17,150 to 17,350 is the range what market profile is suggesting, and moreover I have a high probability it will expire above 17,750, I mean 17,150,
150.
that have a very higher chance. So in that case, what sort of strategies they want to deploy, they can deploy.
Fair enough. So yes, for an option seller, what is most important is the two important levels on the upper side and on the downside.
Yeah,
So once they get these levels, I think automatically they can deploy those strategies.
yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Uh, so Jay, is it like the open interest analysis which we do on the expiry date, that also should be done at a specific time of the day, or from
No,
9:50?
no need, no need actually. But you need to understand how these OI build-ups are happening actually. For example, let's go to Bank Nifty. Okay, fine. So here, Bank Nifty, you need to understand, okay, here 37 lakhs is the writers charging up. Here it is 33 lakhs. So what are the chances of this 37 lakhs shedding 4 lakh open interest and this guy claiming the high writer spot? And what are the chances of this 41 lakhs being still there, and all of a sudden from this 27 lakhs, what are the chances of adding 10 to 15 lakhs more to climb 36,500 as the highest put rider? So that will come in experience if one starts watching. So I need to know what are the chances of this guy giving up and this guy leading the uh, writing front on call side, and what are the chances of this guy staying same here and this guy starts building up to make and cross this level so that expiry could be above 36,500. So once you start watching it, you should understand this. As of now, this looks very least chance. So basically 36,500 is kind of resistance. So if I'm right, we might go towards here in case we are struggling to uh, reduce this 37k, or in case if we don't add up much here, then probably one push towards 36,300 or 36,250 likely to happen, where that is where I want to really get into
Take
a
up the trade. Hmm.
Yeah, get into the trade. So that will come when you keep watching on a OI front. Today is a kind of odd day where we got a big gap up, so everyone need to adjust their position. That's why this is taking too much time for the move to happen actually.
Right, right. So I'll just repeat the levels in Bank Nifty. So 36,300 बैंक निफ्टी में लेवल है नीचे, जो कि लो का स्टॉप लॉस पे जय विल ट्राई एंड टेक अ पोजीशन, कीपिंग अ स्टॉप लॉस below the today's low, right?
So yeah,
and
yeah,
and 36,500 36,600 is the level जो ऊपर में रेजिस्टेंस है, वहां आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि वहां पे वो टारगेट रह सकता है. सिमिलरली निफ्टी में जो जोन है दैट इज 17,150 से 200 का जो जोन है, वहां पे आप लॉन्ग कर सकते हैं आज के लो का स्टॉप लॉस रख के, एंड ऊपर में 2x का टारगेट रख सकते हैं. सो दैट इज द क्विक गिस्ट ऑफ व्हाट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. नाउ दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन fairly open interest analysis, my
yeah,
market profile, and
yeah,
for a confirmation जय एक inverted hammer या hammer on 10 minutes chart देखेंगे, जिससे कि उनको वो confirmation मिल जाए कि yes market is going to go up. रिजेक्शन हो
yeah.
गया है तो वहां पे वो ट्रेड लेंगे, राइट.
Okay. So when we are talking here, if you see market is made a new high. So here, what the regular trader who trades supply and demand zone, what he thinks is this is a resistance level, so I want to short because seeing the slowness in price. We said the context is bullish. I don't want to go short at least. If it gives me a dip, I want to go long. If it doesn't gives me a dip, I will make a leave. Actually, I don't want to
आज नहीं
entertain.
ट्रेड करेंगे, आज
Yeah,
ये
no
नहीं
trade.
ट्रेड
I mean, like no
करेंगे.
trade. I don't want to put you into a trade. So here the
Right.
important psychology involved is when you are expecting a dip, when market is not giving the dip. See, for example, you are bullish.
Hmm.
You want the market to give you the dip, then you want the market to go up. But market without giving the dip, it started scaling up. Here, what as a discretionary trader, what you will do is you will set up a ego. Hey, I expected a dip. You are going without giving me a dip. I want to short it. He
Yes.
totally goes against his context, his readings, and everything because only reason market doesn't give a dip, so it is going up. So that is the only reason you want to short. So that should
Right.
not happen. If it doesn't give a dip, if it keeps going, fine, leave it. There will be always a next day to trade. There will be always something to trade for you going forward.
I think, Jay, this is a very, very important key takeaway for all our viewers here logging in. I'll just repeat what
Yeah,
Jay
put
is
you
saying.
if you can put it in Hindi, then it would be.
यस, मैं बोलती हूँ कि जय ये बता रहे हैं कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अपने साइकोलॉजी को कंट्रोल करने का. अगर आपके रूल्स को वो सेटिस्फाई नहीं कर रहा है, अगर वो डिप नहीं दे रहा है, प्लीज अवॉइड दैट ट्रेड. जरूरी नहीं है कि हर थर्सडे को आपको ट्रेडिंग करनी है. एवरी थर्सडे आएगा मार्केट, आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज देगा, एंड टुडे बीइंग अ गैप अप एनी विच वेज देयर आर हाई चांसेस कि हो सकता है आपको वो ट्रेड की अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिले. एंड इस समय क्या रहता है कि नॉर्मली व्हेन देयर इज अ ब्रेकआउट, जो ट्रेडर्स है वो अपने एनालिसिस के अगेंस्ट जा करके शॉर्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं, वेयर दे गो रॉन्ग एंड वेयर दे गेट स्टक, बिकॉज वो ट्रेंड के अगेंस्ट काम कर रहे हैं. तो व्हाट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज कि अगर आपके रूल सेटिस्फाई कर रहे हैं, आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी में फिट हो रही है, तब आप उसको ट्रेड करें. अदरवाइज प्लीज लेट इट गो. इट्स ओके नॉट टू ट्रेड. आई मीन दैट इटसेल्फ इज अ ट्रेड. कि नहीं ट्रेड कर रहे वो भी एक ट्रेड है, बिकॉज दैट इज अ डिसीजन विच यू आर मेकिंग फॉर द मार्केट. So I think it is very, very important to stick to this what Jay is saying, right, Jay?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So this was a very quick analysis on Nifty and Bank Nifty for the day, Jay. Thank you for that. Now, any specific stocks which we can figure out? कोई stocks जो हम निकाल सकते हैं expiry day special कि इस दिन ये stocks में movement आ रहा है और कहीं हमें trading opportunity मिल रही है.
Uh, so there is one short opportunity in Hindelco. We've been trading via 570 put option. 570 put option, we bought it at 11.25. We kept a stop loss at 9. So we are looking for this yesterday's POC 570. Even we are looking for 569 by next week. Okay, we have a very lower stop loss here. We have a stop loss here. So once until this doesn't gives up, so we expect this 570 to get hit either by today or going forward. So today we been into this trade. So Hindelco 570 put, we bought it at 11.25. We kept a stop loss at 9. We are looking for 570 to get hit to get covered. So this is the one trade as of now we are working on.
Right. Jay, what is the criteria of choosing Hindalco over the other stock? Any specific parameters which it has met?
The parameter is basically Hindelco. We got a huge sell-off on this day. So we've been testing here. Again, someone had sold the stock, utilized the same level. Someone had sold it. We are here. So until this level, say like 584 is not taken away. So we are going to test this VPOC first and this VPOC second before this expiry. So in case if second of market, because we are trading market Nifty in a supply zone, in case market gives up, I expect metals to react because metals are in a short-term supply zone. So that's why we picked it Hindelco here. So we are looking for a kind of bigger crack on the second off. If market cracks, we expect a good crack or close here. Monday, say a gap down and test this 570 mark. So we are looking for 570 for
517 levels in
Hindelco.
Hindalco.
Yeah. Basically, we look for VPOX as a target. When we initiate a trade, we initiated a trade here. So though it gave this thing, we were looking for 570, but market is bullish. Again, I want to say, whenever the broader market index Nifty is bullish, when you choose a short, okay, when you choose a short based on your setup, go less quantity as well as look for the targets to hit very slowly because the broader index is going up, so that means the sentiment for the total day will be bullish until the broader index gives up say like 1% or say like half a percent from the high. So this stock will take more time in case
Right.
Nifty falls. So this can go to
Could be faster.
570 very easily today. Else Monday the open could be at 570, and that week we are expecting 560. This gap to be filled. This VPOC to be tested. So I will be adding more Hindelco shorts. I mean via 570 put option. So my stop loss will be 9.
9 rupees.
Yeah.
I think that was basically the concept of relativity also, that if
Mhm.
Nifty is going up, probably the speed at which Hindalco would go down is lower. And अगर निफ्टी नीचे जाता है तो हिंडाल्को की जो स्पीड है जो वो 570 टच करेगा और वो वी वैप का जो लेवल है उसको भी कवर करेगा, वो फास्टर रहेगा. सो इफ निफ्टी इज वीक, हिंडाल्को विल बी वीकर.
Yeah, yeah,
Theory of
yeah.
relativity.
Even if Nifty, say like Nifty is here, it is testing 37 300. So my next level on spot is somewhere close to 36 30. I mean 17,350 actually.
Right.
We don't know. I mean, like this can go towards here also. We don't know. But
So the stop
what
loss is
happens is
9.
when it starts scaling higher, the sentiment for the day is totally bullish. Okay, so that means the traders also will try to attempt to hold the stock. Though there is a strong selling pressure, they don't want to give this up because of the broader market index. In case if Nifty from 17,300 all the way comes towards 17,225, then if you watch, Hindelco will crack very badly and that can hit 572 and 570 for the day itself.
Hmm. Right, fair enough. Uh, Jay, we are having a question that why the stop loss is 9. How did you actually, decide your stop loss to be 9 for this put option?
Basically, 9 is the serious low so far.
Okay, Okay.
That is a low made for this month so far actually.
Fair enough.
8.8 or somewhere close to that, if I remember,
Fair enough.
8.95 or something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Great. Jay, we have another question by one of your users that, how do you, is there any specific way that, we can choose our stop loss and target for the index trade on expiry date, or is it just simply levels which decide the stop loss and target?
No, for options, if you consider, I always say this way. I mean, like you need to know if I enter a trade at 40 rupees, if the day high is somewhere close to 160 or 170, I don't want to wait for that. If 40 goes to 80, I will scale out really some half or more than that position. Then I will trial the rest looking for that as a target. There is no specific target. Say like at 11.25 if I enter a position, let's say at 11.25 if I enter a position, my stop loss is 9, my stop loss is 9, so basically 2.25 is the risk I'm taking it. So if it goes to 13, okay, sorry, if it goes to 11.25 plus 2.25, so basically 13.5. If it hits 13.5, there I will exit. Intraday, I really look for 1 hour. Basically, what you call it as 1:1. In case of
One.
positional, I have a deeper target. Say like if I want to take this position, I mean like if I want to take Hindelco as a position, if I want to carry it forward, I will still maintain this 9 as my stop loss, but my targets will be bigger. So once it hits 560, that is where I will really look to book out the trade. Still this 9, because when you want to take an overnight risk, that is where you can look for a bigger targets. At 560, you never know what kind of targets this will be at.
Fair
That
enough.
time, what is trading on the market, I will try to hit the market and I will give it and come away.
Right. Uh, so, Jay, basically, we are looking at simply risk reward. Ki one is to
Yeah,
one risk reward, yeah, one is to two, rather than looking at the specific prices or rather than specifically looking at premium.
exactly, exactly. See,
Bec-
I always ask this question when I take a risk of 10 rupees and market rewards me at 10 rupees in a quick manner, quick time. I call it as a
निकल
quick
जाओ.
time. So
Right.
what bothers you to not to take that position? I am a trader who looks to break the. This is also an important point. Not many will think this way. I want to break the uncertainty into parts. Say like people look to trade 100 rupees in one trade, taking a risk of 100 rupees. But what I will do is I will split this risk of 100 into 10, 10, 10, 10
Right.
times, 10, 10, 10. So let me make this 110 to 10, 110 to 20. Rather losing total 100 rupees to make that 100 rupees in one trade, let me make 10 rupees, let me lose 10 rupees, let me make 10 rupees at the end of the day. Even if I make 60 to 70 rupees and losing 30 rupees, still I will be net positive by 30 points.
Fair
So
enough.
this is how you need to see, this is how you need to check the markets and the risk. Problem is people look to take a one-way risk and lose it out. Split
Right.
your risk.
So for that we need to trade multiple lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that would be possible only if we trade multiple lots, and will be difficult if we are trading only one or two lots.
If you're trading one or two lots, don't come to. One lot don't come to FNO trading is what my humble advice is.
Yes, I think that is a good takeaway because you need to actually manage your risk very, very well. And
Because
you need
you need to have a skill of scale in and scale outs when you trade FNOs. Scale in and scale outs is where you can easily manage your positions a lot.
right. Right. So, Jay, we have another question by Mr. Bhargav Patel that how do we really select the strike prices when we are going in for the trade? We identify the levels. Say for in Nifty also and Bank Nifty, we identified the levels for the day. Now, how do we choose which strike price should we be trading on?
So basically, strike price choosing is something like you need to know target zone. You need to understand which week you are trading. Okay, so basically first 2 weeks, what I
Hmm.
do is I will just try to pick, let's say this happening on 1st of March.
ठीक है.
I will be choosing 560 put option or 550 put option.
Out of the money.
Yeah, out of the money, because I have a very wide targets. I have a longer period of time. Okay, so I choose to pick a kind of an out of the money option. Let's say
Okay.
we are trading third week or fourth week, especially third week. I will slightly come into one strike away OTM option or ITM option. If I am trading on the main expiry week, I will trade ITM. Okay, this is one part. And
ITM
second
in
part
the
is
money. Okay.
it depends on setups as well. So if I choose a momentum setup for that day, if I choose a momentum setup for that day, there what I will do is I will look for a kind of trading out of the money where I will look to manage the position in that manner.
Okay. Fair enough. So that is a key takeaway that अगर आप first 2 weeks of expiry trade कर रहे हैं तो choose slightly out of the money options because you have time in your hand. Plus based on your strategy, if it is a momentum based strategy, तब आप इसको slightly ATM one strike ATM या one slide strike price OTM strike prices भी choose कर सकते हैं. थर्ड एंड फोर्थ वीक स्पेसिफिकली या फोर्थ वीक अगर अपने कर रहे हैं तो इन द मनी स्ट्राइक प्राइसेस इज व्हाट जे इज
Yeah,
प्रेफरिंग टू चूज. राइट. Great. uh, so Jay, we also have a question by Mr. Loknath that since we are trading Hindalco short, can we look into Tata Steel also? And do we have a view on Tata Steel short also?
yeah, definitely. Because all the metals been at the same level actually. So if you see here, these are the resistance zones. So 1300 is where the sell-off had happened. So
Hmm.
basically, you can really look into that. Why I choose Hindalco is Hindalco. I want to just manage this trade via a very low risk thing. That's why I choose Hindalco. Definitely, you can look Tata Steel as well.
So the concept remains the same, definitely. So in the
Concept remains the
internal
same. Where is
sector,
the supply coming in here? And if the supply is in such a way, look to trade in that way.
right. So Jay, we are having a lot of questions with respect to the software which you are using, my market profile and open interest. So just a quick brief on what it is would help our users. And I would also like to tell all my viewers here that if you want to learn market profile in detail, you can log into eLearn Markets and just type in Jay Chandran. You will see an exclusive webinar by him on market profile where he teaches it all, that how to select stocks, how to actually trade. Right, if you could also give some insight on that particular webinar, it will be great for our users.
Yeah. So this chart is from Mira Charts
Hmm.
here. Uh, Mira Charts. So you just go to their website.
Hmm.
You can take a trial for 2 or 3 weeks. You can try that. So this is being used in Ninja Trader. The Ninja Trader platform is free.
Hmm.
You need this indicator. You need an extra data feed. Okay, live data feed. So that is much required.
Right. Okay. And could you just give a quick brief on the market profile webinar which you did on eLearn Markets, where they can learn about this market profile
Yeah.
reading analysis? It will be
Mm-hmm.
helpful to them. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we had the Super Six last a few weeks ago. So where I spoke regarding and mechanical setup on market profile, which I use for trading Nifty futures on intraday. So you can just check it out. I said when to look for a breakout, when you need to stay calm, what are the days where you need to jump into the system to take a trade. So these kind of things I've been discussed. So you can log and you can check those as things as well.
Right. So I'll just I've just shared my screen. So this is the particular webinar which we are talking of, trading intraday using market profile. So this exactly which we have discussed. हमने यही डिस्कस किया है आज कि निफ्टी और बैंक निफ्टी को हमने मार्केट प्रोफाइल के बेसिस पे कैसे एनालिसिस किया है, और इसका पूरा डिटेल लर्निंग कॉन्सेप्ट थ्योरी सारी चीज इस पर्टिकुलर वेबिनार में जय ने सिखाया है. So you can all go through it. This particular webinar is in English, so if you are comfortable in English, please go through this to learn about market profile. Yeah. So, Jay, we are having some stock specific queries. I think we just have 10 more minutes and we can take some stock specific queries for our
Okay.
viewers. The first query which we had was on the BSC. I think that was a much talked about stock, the way it had rallied last week. So, if we could do a quick analysis on the BSC India with respect to the levels, so that would be good.
Okay.
And Nalco also, because again it is from the metal
Uh,
sector.
as I said, I mean, like I track a few Nifty 50 stocks.
Yeah,
In that case, I will just give a rough view. Okay, I don't know how good it will be.
right.
Uh, yeah, just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, tell me the first name.
BSC India. Acha, this is
Okay.
my screen. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, BSC India looks good on charts.
So I think,
No, I mean, like I'm just pulling out the chart here. Yeah. Can you able to see the chart?
yeah, now we can. You can just scroll it down. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can just scroll the chart down.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I can pull the chart. Okay, fine. Yeah. So, from monthly, if you see stock being trending on higher side, uh, so then we come to weekly. Again, last few days, I mean, few weeks, this started scaling higher. So, 2600 and 2400 are the key levels, and probably the strength has been very good here. The strength has been much good here.
Right.
So probably looks like it can go towards 200 or 3300 mark. Again, these things are sign of someone booking the profits. If you see the volume spikes are happening, and you can see the VIX on the weekly time frames. So that means someone is managing to book their positions on the higher side. So if you are already holding it, you trial it with every week's low as the stop loss. So here my stop loss, if I'm trialing it, it could be below 3650 or I mean 2600.
26.
uh,
Right.
by next week, if the low is being made, if it scales higher, so that what. So as of now, I would be little cautious if I want to enter a fresh launch here. If I already holding my position, I will try to minimize the loss by increasing the DSL.
Fair enough. Um, Jay, would you like to take up LNT view? Since it's a part of a view on LNT. Yeah.
So always when people ask, if they ask for the time frame, that would be good because someone
Yeah,
will be
actually,
using. Yeah. So I always ask what is the time frame you want. So here LND
exactly.
looks good. So LND 1860 looks a tough resistance. Only above that it can do well. And moreover, the structure of LND had changed here. In
Yes.
weekly, the structure of the LND had changed here. So now it is making a kind of lower high, lower low. So 1900 it need to cross. If it doesn't cross, again we might
The,
test 1600 or 1500 levels. So if you are long, if you entered long here, you try to book the profits around 1850 to 1900. If you are looking to trade a fresh entry, you can wait to see how this 1900 marks takes off. If this 1900 takes, then new 52-week high possible in LNT.
right. Um, Jay, we have a question by Mr. Gopi with respect to the Hindalco trade, which we've already discussed. Now, he says that we had a bullish opening in Hindalco. So, do
Okay.
we ignore that? And if yes, why?
Yeah, we had a bullish open here. We had every stock because of the gap up. We had a bullish open here. So now what I want to check is who are these guys who had sold off, who had made a new day's low. Okay, how these guys will react if it takes up here, how these guys will react, whether they are allowing their territory to give up. So I will be, that's why I said if 584 takes off, by the time 584 takes off, a stop loss at 9 will
Stop
hit.
loss gets hit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to check what is this guy's intention. Who is this guy? Because someone who had took a position of nearly 5.5% down on this day, he is utilizing the same thing here. We want to check it out whether he is doing the same thing here or just to trap the shots here. I want to check. That will be cleared only by watching the price auction here. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Right.
Because the stock has been on a downtrend. If you see Indelco, the stock has been on a downtrend. So I take this as a pullback.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So 10 MA is also at 586. So these are the key levels to be watched.
Right. So, Jay, thank you. I think we had a great session. All our viewers really enjoyed, and the clarity with which you have explained Nifty, Bank Nifty, especially with so much of patience, explaining both and connecting both the candlestick method of charting and market profiling was great. Brilliant. I had a great learning,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
specifically. And I've already mentioned this to our viewers that in case you guys want to learn market profiling, if you guys are new to that term, go through your webinar which you've already hosted. It was a brilliant webinar. I have seen that and have been trying to practice the same. It's great. And I would also like all my viewers here to tell you guys that in case you have some stock specific queries like this, you can actually join the Stockage Club, where we have a great team of analysts who actually solve your real time queries on stocks, both on fundamentals and technical side. So please go through that. we are having a specific discount which is there, which you will get the code in the description also, which is SK25. And you get a 25% off on the Stockage Club membership, so you can actually explore that. And thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for this
Thank
enrichment.
you so much.
It was
Thank
my
you.
pleasure to host you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Suji. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.